Guys, I'm sorry to inform you, but you're all wrong. You're all absolutely wrong about the forgeries, about the prototypes, about all of it. You know why? I think there's something going on at hand here. I think this is all a ruse just to get everyone riled up and hyped for the Team Rocket set.
Prepare for trouble!
Make it
That didn't look as cool as I thought it would be. Team Rocket? Guys, Team Rocket set comes out in a few months. Just coincidentally, there's hype going on. There's controversy. There's prototypes turn out not to be real. I'm just saying. Sounds like some Team Rocket stuff. I'm just saying. Watch it be some crazy hype. Okay, I know we're kidding. There's no chance a company would risk their entire reputation on, oh yeah, we'll help you hype up Team Rocket set that's already going to do crazy numbers. Sure, we'll help you with that. Just throw us under the bus for like 2 months. All right, it's all a joke. But I'm not going to really go over everything with you guys because, not that I don't want to, but every single person on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Bumble, you can spread your love and your awareness wherever you want. Go for it. But everyone's kind of talked about it. There's more information than I know, that other people know than I do. But I'm just here because I just want to give you guys where I found this information. And I want to be able to share it here. So I'm going to have photos of YouTube videos that are really helpful and just really interesting to listen to. I'm also going to have the E4 thread, Elite 4 thread, probably in the description. I don't think I know how to tag the links to YouTube. Maybe you can do that. I don't know. I'm not like a tech guy like that. Other than that, there's some Instagram posts that I definitely would love to talk about real quickly and brief. But these are some guys I would look into, not in a bad way, but it's like kind of follow them just to watch what kind of stuff they talk about because they seem to know a lot more than we do, or I do really. And I found it really interesting. And I was like, hey, I don't want to talk about, the same stuff they are, but I would like to, kind of make a little summary here so everyone could just go to there and get to it. So first one, Instagram, Gezzy, Ghezzi. He kind of went on to kind of spoke about, one sec, guys. So actually, before I get into it, before I kind of dive into these content creators, just people that are really love the hobby and they are very knowledgeable on it, I do want to make a couple quick notes. As for the people that got these cards, just throw an example, TCA Gaming, Gem and Pokemon. These are just a quick few ones that I just know off the back of my head. Alts, some other auction houses, and then we have Benjamin.be on Instagram. Really has some crazy girls. I don't personally believe any of them were in on it. I think, if they see all this stuff going on, they see that these are authenticated by CGC or with, they have reputable sources. Someone, I think, had the photos with, Akibane, I think is his name. Sorry, I'm kind of just like off the top of my head trying to go over it. I think, if they had pure intent with buying these or selling these or trading these or hitting them off, they thought they were fully legit, fully authentic. I don't think any of them knew, like the G.I. Joe box guys, that, that they weren't real. Speaking of that, with CGC, I still like the company. Obviously, you guys know, I'm still stand by the big three, PSA, BGS, CGC. Obviously, they all do wrong at times. They all do really great at times. Maybe CGC was just very bold and very, I'm not going to say like impatient, but they've been really diving into a lot of very niche errors and like prototypes and things that personally, in my opinion, I was always skeptical by certain things because I'm like, hey, 25-year-old cards that I've been in the hobby like 5-10 years. I was in Yu-Gi-Oh! For a lot longer than Pokemon, but I have never heard of these cards ever once in my life. Other people have never heard of these cards ever in their life, and just seemed very weird, especially like after COVID. Like COVID, you would think when a lot of these things would pop up, right? Because it was like the hottest time in the hobby, but like no one even had noted that until like this last year. There's like prototypes and play tests and all these other things, and like, here's like a Charizard footprint card, or it was like the most like very obscure things. Not to say that they aren't real, that none of them are real, none of them are fake. To me, it just seemed very interesting that after all this time, they randomly would show up and I don't know if I've never heard anyone ever talk about it before. So I mean, I'm sure they exist. I'm sure some of them are real. Maybe most are real. I don't know. I just found that very interesting. And then my other thing was that PSA or BGS have never touched one. In my opinion, like if PSA BGS has been around for like 15, 20 years plus, and they have never touched these cards, you can say why they don't touch errors, they don't touch like these very niche cards or things that they don't have too much information on. So I mean, you got to give them like CGC credit because they're bold enough into they want to do that. They want to do the right analysis and right research to finding out they're real. But again, it's tough because you have these things where with the coding, which we'll talk about, the Xerox printer scanner, however they printed out the cards, how they print them out. I guess there's a way you can check the coding, and the yellow patterns will pretty much, every time it prints, it codes a date, and the date pretty much at like 2024. So pretty much like how you're going to have playtest cards from way back when, last year. Like, it doesn't make sense. So those would obviously technically be fake. Unless maybe like they're mounted on a card, which we'll talk about later, the mounted part. I know people are confused, like, what is mounted? What does that mean? But anyways, you would think like, hey, if they're like, when you're touching these things and there's that much money involved and there's that much, history and obscurity and blur to it, I feel like you have to look at every obstacle. You got to talk to people. You got to authenticate them. You got to use a loop. You got to use a magnifier. You got to CT scan them. You got to look at every possible way. You got to undeniably deny a chance of forgery or fake, because there is going to be a lot of money right now that I could probably tell is going to be wanted to be refunded, or I don't know, maybe lawsuits. Who knows if it gets that far? But there's going to be some sort of exchanges back. Something's going to happen. There's a lot of money at stake. Things are going to get pretty crazy. And you can already see with all these posts. So anyways, I'm going to go back into it. First one I'm talking about is Gezi, G-H-E-Z-Z-I, on Instagram. He kind of went in on the Wizards of the Coast Yu-Gi-Oh cards that CGC graded. Again, I am just a bystander. I stand back, 2 ears, 2 eyes, and I just listen. I like to see what these people talk about. Again, I'd never touched Yu-Gi-Oh before before the concept of it. So I don't know what these like super pre-old school cards were, like Japanese cards or anything even pre-alpha, pre-test, all that stuff. All like play tests, whatever you want to call test prints. So he did a really cool analysis into those, comparing them with ones he had, comparing them with magazines. So if you ever do look up his Instagram, he also went in on Pokemon one, which he also dove into the E4, the Elite Four form, talking about those. So he's a really good source. And then we have QWA Chansey. I'm sure most of you heard. When I do talk about the YouTube videos later, these people kind of bring up some of these guys. QWA Chansey. He talked about the Xerox scanner. Hey, cut it out. Sorry guys, my dog is being crazy. He talked about the Xerox scanner. He talked about other things with like the signing, the signature. Signatures seem to be off a good bit. Come here. Ugh. How the signatures seem to be off a little bit. Then we have, of course, who else do we have? Marucci Collects was another one. He kind of just shared some information. So these are just guys I would advise you to follow them on Instagram because they like to post content. Oh, RoboSkills, he also made a video about it, which is pretty cool. So these people, if you just watch them, you probably get more information than me because I like to ramble on a lot, and these guys probably put in real good information. They get straight to the point. And if you want to read a forum, go to the Elite Four forum. I'm going to have it down below. You can read it, form your own opinions. That's what we're here for. I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong. I'm not saying they're all fake. They're all real. I'm just here voicing my opinion and just trying to help you guys find some other people that have opinions and thoughts and research and data on what's going on right now. As far as YouTube goes, we have TCA Gaming. We have Rattle Pokemons. We have... there's another guy, I don't remember his name, but I think he does a lot of content on like Japanese cards. I'm going to have him right here above. We also have... who else? If I forgot your name, sorry, I have you right here in the video. It's just going to show my playlist. These are pretty cool videos, just if you just want to drive or you're at work doing some autonomous kind of work, just listen to it. I find it interesting. I like, listening to like data points and research and stuff. So whenever instead of reading it, I'm sorry, I'm lazy. I don't like to read. I'll listen to it. But there you go, guys. That's all the information I have. Hope you enjoyed this kind of video. I know I kind of rambled on. I didn't really get to too many points, but I just wanted to be able to supply you guys with some information on who to look up and who to watch. And I did kind of give my opinion on these things. Hopefully we can find out sooner or later if these are real, if they're fake, what's the policy of it. Is it going to be refunds? What's going on? So hopefully there's just a nice, all right, guys, everything's clear. We're good to go. And we can all just hop back together. So appreciate you guys. Oh. Fucker. You tried to eat my fucking, you tried to eat my One Piece cards. Look at this. That's slobber. It's kind of crazy, man. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. If you like this kind of content, please let me know. I'd love to do more. I just kind of like to start recording and just ramble on about stuff. But yeah, appreciate your time. Hopefully you found this somewhat helpful, educational, informational. Hopefully this helps in some way. And if it does, I really appreciate your feedback. And anything you guys find that I'm wrong with, anything you find in addition to what I'm talking about, would be really greatly appreciated, because I love to hear more and I love to learn more. So appreciate you guys. Catch you later. Peace.